I think we can go straight into the visit the President Addo Akufo-Addo has made to the United States of America. Well, first of all, watch the video, and then when we are done, we can break the issues down. So for those of you who are listening on radio, you can go onto our Facebook platform now. The video is up, and you can listen to that very one there as well.
So, Madam Vice President, first of all, I want to thank you very much for the invitation to come and have this brief visit with you. Your country is one of the most important friends of Ghana and has been right from the time of our independence. We value the relationship, and any opportunity, therefore, that we have to meet with the leaders of America, we have to take it. And that is what has brought me here to the White House. Our commitments are very much the same commitments as you have. We want to develop our nation as a democracy, as a country where freedom and the respect for human rights and the rule of law are paramount to our system of governance. Our big challenge, and it is the challenge of all those who want to develop democratic institutions on our continent, is to ensure and reassure our people that democratic institutions can be a vehicle for the resolution of their big problem, that is economic development as the means to eradicate poverty on the continent. So that's the investment that we have made, and it is an investment that you have been very supportive of, and we continue to appreciate your support. We've had some difficult times in the country recently because of the COVID, like everybody else has had. Mercifully, its impact on us has been not as originally anticipated. It has been more mild than it has. Part of it is the work that the government did, and the others is the general environment in which the disease is working on the continent. We're grateful for the support that the United States government has given us in trying to deal with the virus, the COVAX facility, which America has been very strongly participant, and the support that we've had through the donation of the 1.2 million doses of the Moderna, and the promise you've made that more is on the way.
Yes.
Our target is to try and vaccinate at least 20 million of our people by the end of this year. The Ghanaian population is some 30 million odd, and I think if we can achieve that, we will then be more confident about defeating the virus in the context of Ghana. The other main preoccupation for us is the cooperation that we have to put together to defeat the jihadist insurgency in the Sahel. It's a major security preoccupation, and the G5 Sahel, ECOWAS, the Lake Chad Initiative, all these are the organizations that have come together to try and push back. I believe that's an area where the support of the United States government, and it's important that we set out right from the beginning. We're not seeking military assistance in the form of American troops or otherwise. I know you've just had a bad example for yourself of what American troops in some areas can do. We're not seeking that. We are looking for support for our armed forces and for the intelligence agencies of our area, that they can be in a stronger position. Many of those who are leading the jihadist insurrection in West Africa are the people who came from Iraq after they were driven out from Iraq to Ghana. So I think that there's some information here that can assist us in being able to track down and deal with these people. So these are the main preoccupations that have brought me here to Washington, to try and discuss with you and through you to President Biden, and hopefully it will advance our mutual causes and also strengthen the relations between our two countries. I want through you to express my warm greetings to the President and indicate to him that in Ghana he has a friend in office, and the people of Ghana have a very good feeling towards the people of America. So thank you very much once again for the invitation. And I'm hoping that it will be not the first or last time during this my second and last term in office, that I have the opportunity to come here in Washington to meet with you.
Well, we are honored to receive and greet you. Welcome, Mr. President.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much indeed.
Welcome. Thank you all.
Yeah, so that was the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on his visit to the United States of America. He met with the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and they've been having some conversations on the bilateral relationship Ghana has with the United States of America. Theophilus, I'll start off from me before I come to Olom. I'll pick your preliminary thoughts on this particular visit, and then quickly I'll come to Olom, and then I can wrap it up.
Yeah, so I will take it from the conversation they had on empowering the military because of the current insurgency issues that we've witnessed in the Sahel region. When I say the Sahel region, I'm talking about the countries that are at the north of Ghana, mostly dominant at the north. They're at the central of Africa, talking about the east of Senegal, countries like Mauritania, the northern parts of Nigeria, Guinea,
Mali,
Chad, and all of that. We've had
Faso,
even Mali, Niger. Niger. We've had a lot of instability issues there, and the president has been calling on the U.S., of course, through the vice president, to give Ghana some help, military help, in order to combat some of these things when the need comes that they have to, drop down to Ghana. Because we've even had issues in Burkina Faso already, which means that very soon we could be the next target of this. So,
yeah, but just for purposes of clarity, he said that they didn't need the support in form of military men.
Yes,
but they needed the support in form of training, some capacity building for their military.
Yeah.
And that he cited an example of some of the military men who've had some exchanges in terms of training and all of that to the United States of America and how they performed well. So in terms of capacity building and training.
Yeah. That's very true. And of course, that is ideal. Looking at the ranking of militaries, U.S. of course is number 1 on the list, and Ghana is number 96. So 96 in the 96th position. That would be okay to ask number 1 for some capacity building and all of that, because even for the U.S. they face their own issues in Afghanistan, of course, that they had to even withdraw. So for us to be having some of these issues or foreseeing some of these issues, it is a step in the right direction. But I hope this, of course, helps us a lot, because it is not always that we have to be going to countries like this for help. We should develop our own tactics, develop our own ways of solving some of these issues. How ready are we? Of course, we are not. We are never ever ready. Let's even look at the recent COVID-19 pandemic issues, that we couldn't even protect our borders. Of course, election years, we see the sort of issues with regards to our borders and all of that. So I feel it is a step in the right direction to ask for this help ahead of time. But what do we do with the help? Is it that we just sit back and just ask for help, or what? What do we really do as a country? The president has gone out there to ask for this capacity building, but ourselves, we should always be. When we take some of these things, we should analyze the whole situation and see how we develop them in our own ways. And of course, the hard training, the military in Ghana has seen the sort of hard training with little technical skills, little issues of intelligence. So I think we should invest a whole lot more into that regard. And of course, the president has been talking about COVID-19, and with the Kamala Harris promised that they were going to donate some over 1 million doses. Again, of course, we've had some 1.2 million doses of Moderna, and they are donating more of Pfizer to us pretty soon. And of course, let's also use that to vaccinate our population, and let's not always politicize everything. Of course, just like always, we go out there and ask for help. We hope these helps come and we change them into something fruitful and useful for our country.
Well, first of all, it's the height of diplomatic nuance for the government of the U.S. to grant audience to countries, especially for developing countries across the world, because it is not very easy for these developing countries to get audience with the government of the U.S. So I must also applaud our president and Addo, his team, and our mission in Washington, D.C. For
catching the eye.
Yeah, for their service.
Because he was actually invited by the U.S.
Yeah, for what they have done. It is a big one within diplomatic circles, and it is no small feat for you to have audience with the sitting vice president of the U.S. Kamala Harris. Is big, and well done, Nana Addo and your team, for getting this opportunity. It's an opportunity that will definitely open lots more of doors for these two countries that have historically collaborated on various issues, and in the past we've seen how such collaborations inured to we getting some financial assistance, especially on our N1 N projects, the N1, N2, N3, N4, N5 projects, which came under the Millennium Challenge Compact framework, where we had assistance in various areas. Before that, we signed on to some bilateral trade pacts, which is the Africa Growth and Opportunities Act under President Bill Clinton in 1997. Before 1997, Ghana and the U.S. had collaborated militarily through the Africa Crisis Response Initiative, which is called ACRI, and was replaced by the African Center for Training and Transparency Operations, called ACOTA, in 2004. So I want to be sure that the President Addo Akufo-Addo is very much aware of all of these historical initiatives, and when he met the Vice President of the U.S., it was just building upon what had already been in existence since 1997. I'm limiting that to the past 20 or more years for the purposes of this conversation. And when President met the Vice President Kamala Harris, it is basically a highlight or extensions of the remarks or the address that the President delivered to global leaders at the UN General Assembly, where he touched on the global vaccine initiative, COVID-19. Also, he spoke on the fact that we need to restructure the global aid architecture, which I found quite contradictory, because this is a president who in 2017 declared boldly to the world when he met the French President Emmanuel Macron, telling him that Ghana now is piloting a certain economic initiative called the Ghana Beyond Aid, which would make the country look internally and mobilize its own internal resources for economic development. But over the years, many of his requests have been attributed to the devastation that the COVID-19 had caused the economy. So his appeal to the global community is for them to extend more financial assistance, financial aid, overseas development assistance to Ghana and other African countries. On the matter of the militarization of the sub-region, which has become a matter that is beyond grip, beyond handling. It has become a matter that is beyond the comprehension of West African regional leaders. It is only important that you extend some request again to the United States for them to assist you in finding some lasting solution to fundamental extremism across the Lake Chad Basin. Theophilus has been mentioning some of the countries that have become hotspots. Burkina Faso, almost every time you are hearing of the maiming and the killing of military officers within that particular extraction. For northern part of Nigeria, where the Boko Haram group have used that ungoverned space as a launch pad for carrying out other attacks into the Lake Chad Basin and across the Sahel, it has become very important for President Addo Akufo-Addo, who wore two hats when he appeared before the United States Vice President Kamala Harris. First of all, as President of the Republic of Ghana, and also as Chairman or leader of the economic bloc ECOWAS. He has to, of course, make requests that do not only border on Ghana's own security, Ghana's own economy, Ghana's own political stability, but also extend such a request into the entire sub-region. And that is what President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has been doing when he visited the White House over the weekend. But no, I must say that to a very large extent, one of the things that I am disappointed in the president for, and I'm lumping his address to the United Nations General Assembly and also when he met the vice president, is that when president was appointed chairman or coach of the SDGs, he was given certain specific responsibilities. Okay, these responsibilities he has not been able to acquit himself creditably. The simple reason being that when he appeared in Canada in 2019 at the Women Deliver Conference in Vancouver, he made a remark which is to suggest that Ghanaian women have not probably amplified themselves or have not approached the establishment for them to be amplified. And he was taken on by gender activists globally. Okay, and it is about that which I tend to focus on, because our gender numbers are not looking good. And the president, one of the key goals within the Sustainable Development Goals, okay, Agenda 2030, is to ensure that many women have representation within the political governance disposition. Talking about parliament, I'm talking about appointment, especially at our local government structures, the MMDCs, Metropolitan Municipal District Chief Executives. And out of a number of 222, you are having only 38 women who have been appointed. 38 women. You are doing less than 20%, 20-25% out of all these numbers. And you're asking, Mr. President, you are the one who has been appointed to champion a certain global narrative. And this narrative is to ensure that the gap between women and men are bridged. In all manifestations of political dispensation, you need to ensure that the gap is bridged through appointment, through nominations to the local government structures, even through the election of parliament. Okay, it is something that should be done. And you should be surprised that even in 1960, under President Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first elections that saw women enter the 1960 parliament, the first Republican parliament, a lot of these women went unopposed. And these are the quota systems that we've been speaking about. These are the affirmative actions that we've been speaking about. Okay, so the president, Noah, does not have any single strategy, okay, to bridge the gap, to encourage women, to improve women's representation in political governance. And it is something that has been loudly silent in all his addresses and in all his speeches. It is something that is personal to me. It is personal to me because we cannot have the Ghana Statistical Service release data where you have more than 400,000 women in existence, and when it comes to representation, they are underrepresented. And it is not only peculiar to national governance. When it comes to all our professional associations, you take the Ghana Bar Association recently, they held their national conference at Wa in the Upper West region of Ghana. They elected the president once more as the leader of the Ghana Bar Association. The Ghana Medical Association, it is the same thing over there. I'm sure that all the professionals, the Ghana Journalists Association, it is the same thing as Ghana Architects Association, Ghana Association of Industries. Mention all the relevant associations and you would find that the women have always been relegated to peripheral positions of treasurer, secretary, organizer, what have you. It is the president's mandate, okay, to reflect the values, to reflect the objectives, to reflect his chairmanship and his chaperonage as someone who is chairing global goals to bridge this gap. And that he has not done, and that he has not been able to add to his list of successes, that he can appear before global leaders at the UN General Assembly, he can appear before a vice president who is a woman, and he did not have any gender records to boast about. It is a big problem. That's one. Number two, the bow in hand, cup in hand attitude of still going back to these people. It is always about COVID-19, help us, help us, help us, help us. You got the COVID-19 funds mismanaged. What have you done within this period? How has your economy grown? How has your economy rebounded? What are some of the stopgap measures? What are you fixing exactly? Are you fixing anything at all? So when you go back to ask for more money, more loans, more aids, more grants, how prudently are you applying all of these overseas development assistance? It is something that the president has not articulated very well. Because if you listen to these two addresses, and I'm combining the UN General Assembly address and also the address he made at the White House when he met Kamala Harris, you're asking, is all the time visits by African leaders, and Ghana inclusive, is about come and do this, come and help us, give us this, we need this, we need that, we need support, we need this, we need that. And interestingly, our president has also been caught within this web. He's been caught within the crosshairs of demanding, begging, asking, soliciting, requesting for assistance. So for me, this address and the visit to the White House, it is not historic, number one, because we've had many former Ghanaian presidents seeking audience with the United States government. The only thing about this visit that for me I would applaud the president and his team for is the ability to get some audience with the U.S. government within this period where every other global leader is clamoring for the attention of the globe's number one or the world's number one country or the world's number one state. It is something they've done very well. But when it comes to certain critical issues of national development, gender empowerment, women empowerment, bridging the gender gap, ensuring that there are many women who are well represented in parliament. When it comes to direct elections into parliament, we are still doing less than 30%. We have just around 39 or 40 of our women in parliament. When it comes to nomination to MMDC's position, you are doing just is it 38 out of 222 nominations, and it's a big problem. And the president is supposed to be, a time will come when he would have to account for his role as chairman of the SDGs. Quite apart from that, we are also expecting him to be more tough on the decelerating democratic credentials of the sub-region, because the last time we discussed data, we are seeing that over the past 2 years we are having more than enough coups within the sub-region over the past 20 years, where we've had just one per year. Just last year and this year we've been having two. And sometime last week a coup has also been fought in Sudan, in the East African region, which also sprawls into a bit of the Sahel. So the military assistance is something that the US must quickly come. I don't know whether what we need is training, because these are not neophyte military that the African countries have. We've had militaries that have been developed and that have been recognized on their own merit. So what kind of training exactly is it talking about? Is it training in counter-terrorism? Probably. Is it training in counter-violent extremism? Is it about training military officers to appreciate democratic creeds other than intervening in politics? If these are the issues, then the president would have to be quite frontal with the issues and be direct with his demands. But quite apart from that, it was a great visit, giving our country and the United States the opportunity to rekindle bilateral relationships that we've enjoyed over the past 20 years. And if there are some opportunities for us to explore more into other areas, and also request from the government of the United States other support or assistance in various areas, it is something that will definitely inure to the benefit of this country, because we've been very appalling at mobilizing our own internal resources for development. But as I continue to say, when is this going to stop? President attempted to stop this 2018 or 2017, but he is being swallowed more into the pit or into the bowl of asking for more help. But unfortunately, that is where we are. But it's a big visit, a great visit, and some of the issues didn't only touch on Ghana, but the entire sub-region. And Addo and his team, they have done well with this visit, and it is a feather in the cap. We hope that they can scale it up to other G7 leaders of the world for us to continue to deepen at least our soft power and also our geostrategic relevance within the sub-region as a go-to country when it comes to soft power diplomacy and also democratization in West Africa and, for that matter, Ghana. No.
Hello, thanks so much for that breakdown. But let me ask you before I make my own comments quickly. Were you worried that the president didn't have to meet Joe Biden himself, but rather the vice president? Does that mean anything at all in the circles of international relations? Because you'd expect that if he was a vice president, then the vice president will meet him. But if it was the president, weren't you expecting that the president himself would have welcomed him and met him and have all of the issues discussed?
No, yes and no. Yes, in the vein that when a president meets you, it certainly conveys much more stronger symbolism. It conveys much more significance, much more importance. It conveys the fact that they find you quite important. They find you very strategic, an ally to them. But when it comes to some of these circumstances, probably the president also has some equally important, I'm speaking about President Joe Biden, some equally important meetings that he may have to deal with at that particular point in time when the meeting is going on. So that is as far as I would say that if the president had met him, it would have meant much more, especially for the optics and also for very good political reasons. But the vice president in the United States is just as big as the president. And if you look at the Constitution of the United States, the vice president also just acts in the absence of the president and conducts more of the diplomatic duties, which is receiving foreign envoys and dignitaries. And Kamala Harris is also a big shot. The vice president of the United States is as big as the president and has the capacity, has the latitude, has the magnitude and the gravitas to meet anyone at all. Anyone at all. So it does not demean the essence of the visit. It does not debase the quality of discussions that they have. It does not in any way lessen the symbolism of the visit and the relationship between the two countries. So as far as it is, the vice president of the US is a big shot, and that is what it is. For ceremonial duties, they can meet, because
let's put this on record that Joe Biden has not traveled out of the United States of America. He was present in the United States of America when our president visited. Can Ghana afford to do the same? That the president, Joe Biden, visits Ghana, and then you would send Dr. Bawumia to go and meet him while you, the president, Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, focuses on something else. Can we afford that?
No, you cannot afford that in realistic terms. It is not that easy, because these are two countries or two powers that are asymmetrical. One is a big global power, and one is probably a middle regional power. I'm talking about Ghana, and talking about United States. So
middle.
Yeah, middle is
a middle.
Yeah, it's a middle regional.
And not bottom.
No, we are not a bottom power. In Africa, we are a middle regional power.
Okay.
In terms of so many, historically, Ghana is big. Symbolically, Ghana is big. Geostrategically, Ghana is big. Democratic-wise, it is preferred to many other countries within the continent. So these are some of the soft power credentials that we can boast of, and that is also one of the reasons why the United States would invite you, because it aligns with their own global goals, global values of democratization, human rights, free and fair elections, and also the respect of minority rights. So Kamala Harris is just as equally as important as Joe Biden. And I'm sure that when President Joe Biden was vice president to Barack Obama, he was also meeting other global leaders.
And not obviously not the likes of the president of the prime minister of
Britain?
what's it called? Britain. Certainly, you wouldn't find in the day Theresa May or David Cameron visit the United States of America, and then the vice president is receiving him when the president is around. For me, I think that we of course we respect the fact that the relationship is asymmetrical. It's not equal. You're talking about a boss and a subordinate, so to speak. You're talking about a huge, country in terms of economic power, like the United States of America and that of Ghana, which is nowhere close to even 1/10 of what United States can boast of. But obviously, I think that if you wanted to show some form of respect for the other, you should be receiving the president from Ghana and not your vice president.
Yeah, so no, that's what I'm saying, that it is two things. Because if the prime minister...
on record, there is no other president who had visited the United States of America that day and will say he was engaging the president. That is point number one.
Yeah.
It is also not on record that the president was not in America and had traveled. It is also not on record that the president was sick. These may be things we don't know of, but I'm saying that it is not on record. So if all of these things remain the same and all other things are equal, then the president, Joe Biden, should be answering some questions for why he didn't receive the president of Ghana himself.
Okay, so first of all, if this is a visit that the United States government, if this is an invitation that was thrown to Ghana, it would have been clear in the communication. The visit could have come from any of the offices.
Yeah, but the president said that he was invited. He thanks the presidency for this invitation.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The presidency, it could be the vice president, or it could be the president himself, who made the invitation. And also for the United States, they have their own memo and their own strategy. It could be that for some countries, the vice president should deal with them. For other countries, the president himself.
And that's where the disrespect comes in.
Well, it depends on the importance and also the nature of the visit.
Well, the point is, if you are coming to beg, anyone else can meet you. It could even be the security man of the White House.
And no,
you're coming to beg.
If the nature of the visit is something that the vice president can handle,
there's no way. There's no need wasting the time.
For the president to, because see, the US is a busy country. I'm not sure that they know what you see. They have observed patterns of engagement with.
And they know that we're coming to beg.
So if it's begging, Kamala Harris can handle.
Or the security man at the gate can handle that.
No, come on.
Or that's too low.
It's the relationship.
But you're coming to beg.
The relationship is at the level of heads of state to head of state.
Okay.
So it's a state to state relation, not security man.
But that was what you said before we came into the studios. Why are you changing
I didn't
your
say
position?
Please stop this.
Okay. Anyway, that was just a joke. But you see, first of all, I want to applaud Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for admitting in his delivery that indeed Ghana needs help. I have said time and again that if we can say sorry, if we can say, look, I need help, a lot of the times about 80% of the world's problems would have been solved. Where people can admit that, look, after all the ego I threw around, after all the pomposity I threw around, look, I really need help, right? And come out and beg for help. And then where you offend anyone and the person finds, points that out, you actually apologize. If we can all learn some of these principles, about 80% of the world's problems would have been over. Because a lot of the times the problems are based on ego. People want to throw their egos around and that is what causes a lot of the problems. If you are driving in traffic, you find the same thing. You do a mistake, and I have scratched a certain man's car around the Adenta traffic before. And I knew it was my fault. So he got down out of his car, very angry, was coming to, and by the time he would move in front of his car and approach mine, I had already gotten down, and I said, look, sir, I know it's my fault, I am sorry. So that disarmed him, and quickly he became so calm, went back into his car and said, oh, it's fine, let's move on. You know, but you can imagine if I also threw my weight around, what do you mean and all of that, then that would have turned into something else. So I want to applaud the President Addo Akufo-Addo for admitting that there is a problem, except that he was not truthful to what the cause of the problem was. And I'll read some of the things he has said, that they have been working to develop their people economically through democracy, right? And that he wants to give hope to Ghanaians that democracy can actually be a way or a means through which the people can be developed. Now, the president should be truthful to himself and the people of Ghana and the people of the United States of America and the presidency in America, that the kind of development or the kind of democracy they are practicing in this particular country can never ever give anyone any economic development. That's not true, Mr. President. The kind of democracy you are practicing here is, let's go to the polls, you splash all manner of gifts and money around to get elected into office. When you get elected, you appoint heavily your family members and your cronies, and they steal heavily from the public purse. And then you go to America and say, we want to reassure our people that the sort of democracy we are practicing is the democracy that will give us economic development. Mr. President, that's not being truthful. That's point number one. Point number two, he said we are here to enhance our mutual causes. Mutuality. When we say the feeling is mutual, we're actually saying that whatever it is you're gaining, I'm gaining too. But in this particular relationship, we know that it is not based on mutuality. You have said already that it's an asymmetrical relationship. It's not balanced.
Yeah, no, let me just come in here.
Right.
A bit. So usually what happens within these kinds of arrangements are that the gains, as mutual as it is, comes in two forms. One of the gains could be absolute. The other one could be relative. So, and the countries are aware within their own material inadequacy that US and Ghana cannot be a 50-50. So they know. Right. So that mutuality is that
you come and get what you want.
If it is 10% you can give me, just give me the 10% and I'll leave. But it is good we are breaking these issues down for people to know that the mutual, the use of the word mutual
is only abstract.
Yeah, doesn't mean that it is 50-50. Yeah. It doesn't happen anywhere. Yeah. And the US will not give you 50 and take 50 because...
But we see, Elom, if the US is dealing with the United States of, what's it called? The United Kingdom, for example, you can be assured of people negotiating well.
Yes, because they have the material adequacy.
Exactly. Yeah. They have the resources. So whatever it is you want, I make sure that I get exactly what I deserve and not what I need, what I want in the interim.
You deserve, yes, as Ghana.
No, I'm talking about when UK meets the United States of America. Yeah. They would negotiate well, and that particular negotiation will be based on what we deserve and not what we want.
That's true.
But for countries like Ghana, when you go and negotiate, you're only begging. You are negotiating for what you want, and not actually what you deserve. Because you don't bring anything to the table.
So that's it.
Exactly. So I am saying that when the president makes it look like, oh, this is a very mutual relationship, we are all there for each other and so on and so forth, it is not the case.
But what would you want preferred that he said?
Well, so I am breaking down what he has said.
Okay.
And what I'll prefer him to say or not is not my focus.
Okay.
What he has said is what I'm breaking down. Okay. And I am trying to let our people understand that whenever your leaders go to these countries, you don't have anything to offer them apart from opening your markets and they dumping their goods that in turn challenge your local economy. They only chase your local, people out of business. Is that a mutuality?
But that's what you're offering.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But that's not mutual. The leaders, no, Elon, I want our listeners to understand that when their leaders go for some of these negotiations, they negotiate at their expense. They use them, the people, their businesses, their economic empowerment as a bargaining chip to get what the few leaders will get and come and share. Because they know that if, for example, America grants us a loan of about $1 million, or let's say $10 million to construct a road, we are going to award that contract to our party faithfuls. And those party faithfuls will bring back the money into the political party for us to share. We saw what happened with the PPA boss. We saw it. We saw how he created his own agency that was awarding contracts. What has become of him? We are seeing all of these things. And so if you go and make it look like, oh, it's a mutual relationship, our listeners may take it hook, line, and sinker. So it is important that we break these issues down and let them understand that the relationships are not mutual after all. For him and Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, of course, that will be mutual. Did the president did the vice president Kamala Harris, question the cost of traveling to come and beg for the vaccines and beg for military support? The cost of traveling?
No.
Right.
Okay, you're saying that regards the private jet?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
And these are the questions you should be asking. Because if I am giving you, a vaccine which is worth, say, $1 million, but your cost of travel is about $800,000, what are you doing to your country? When indeed there is an alternative. And we are hearing that George Upon Weah, is riding in our presidential jet while the president goes on. We are hearing that. That's an allegation. And that while the president goes on a private jet to the United States of America, does the United States of America government fly on hired jets and pay those amounts of money for each travel? Do they do that? So what's the mutuality he's talking about? The mutuality is just for himself. And this is what I want our listeners to understand. And so when he is a very good orator. He would present a very beautiful speech with an accent that is, highly accepted here in Ghana. I mean, if you speak the ordinary man's accent in Ghana, Charlie, no one is interested. They want to hear you slant and do, talk as though you just came back from America. And that's it. That's what they want to hear. When you speak like that, this guy is so intelligent. We equate intelligence to accent. That is how low we get in this particular country. Sometimes, and so he would woo you with his speech. And if you don't take time to break down some of the things he has said, and I'm surprised the vice president would also, for diplomatic reasons, will say, yeah, I welcome you. Ghana is very precious on the hearts of America. For what reasons? What reasons? What else would be the reason why Ghana will be precious on the heart of America?
It's a hub of democracy.
Can you imagine? And what is the democracy? To elect people and change and hand over, and that's all? That's the democracy. We have reduced the democracy we talk about to elections. So we elect, we vote, we change over government. Once in a while, Carlos Ahinkra will pass through the parliament and snatch ballot papers, and then we go into handing over, and then we are fine. And that's the democracy. We know he, the president, and Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo cannot be, we cannot be intelligent than him. And we cannot be intelligent than I always say this, we the journalists who always come up with alternative solutions every now and then cannot be said to be intelligent than the president or the people around the president. I believe that Ghana has the brains. And when the president said, we have the men, indeed we have the men in Ghana. But what are the virtues of these men? What are the virtues? What are the principles? What are the ethics they are governing the country with? These are questions we should be asking. Anyway, today is World Tourism Day.
Well, I have a senior colleague from let's see, at Legon Center, he's listening, and he sent me a message, and he's saying that there can be many reasons why Joe Biden could not meet our president.
Right.
And he's giving me 4 reasons.
Right.
The first one could be, he said he's seriously occupied.
Yeah. Seriously occupied.
Yeah, he could be indisposed, probably not available.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that. But those are not on record, and that's what I said. Yeah.
And he says that, remember, it was a season of the General Assembly, and other world leaders are calling on him within a time space. That could also be true.
Right.
And also, it's also a way of grooming the vice president, probably, to also be able to receive some of these dignitaries if he is not available. I don't know what you make of that, but these reasons are some reasons I find quite plausible, especially the third and the fourth reason, which is that this visit was carried out, what was going on within the period of the UN General Assembly, where you have almost all the world's global leaders gathering within the United States, New York, to take their turn in addressing the General Assembly. And also the fourth reason, which also I find quite meritorious, which is to say that it is an opportunity for the vice president to also learn, to see and get to know and understand the ropes of how to receive foreign envoys and dignitaries, so that in the absence of the president, he can do that. And many a time they use these small countries to do
Of course, that is what I'm saying. I mean, they'll use you as the learning curve. Yeah, you become the learning curve. And so, yeah, we appreciate that particular country. What, you didn't give his name?
Yeah, his name is Lawrence. Lawrence, he is a doctoral candidate. Yeah.
Lawrence, special good morning going out to you, and thanks for the contribution into the show. We really appreciate that. Yeah. And these are some of the expert opinions we always yearn for on the show. There are lots of messages trooping in. Let me do them quickly, and then we can move to some more conversations. The very first message here says, it is as if you've been away for ages. It's good to have you back, guys. Let's continue the amazing work for God and country. Welcome back. And this is from Simon. In fact, I also felt the same way. Just 1 week off, and it feels like you are ill. You know, it looks like something has been taken away from you. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. This one says, good morning, Noel. Elom was celebrated by one man named Paul Edem Kwenyefu on Facebook. I never knew he is a native of Amukwe. Agbozume has a lot of talents. Isaac Omanjo. Send that one in. Yeah, Elom is a Amukwe born and bred. Elom, you want to send some special good morning to the people of Amukwe?
Oh yeah, many of them tune in. Yeah, they tune in lots, especially now that we are broadcasting on TV.
Yeah.
My folks in Agbozume, they tune in. A special good morning to all of them, and they should continue the listening, and very soon the support. And anytime they have issues that they would want to get into the public sphere, they can reach us directly, or probably you too, Noah Nuchiga on Facebook. We would of course shed light on those issues for them. This show is not just an urban show. It is something that we are trying to cascade across the country and wherever you are. But I appreciate the love and the support so far.
One love to Amukwe. Anyway, this one says, hello there, good morning to you and your wonderful and dedicated crew. I am very happy for the coming back of the Statecraft, and I'm praying it stays forever. Long live Zylofon FM, long live the Statecraft, and long live all the workers of Zylofon. Still, Zylofon is on top. DJ Wanya Brantia inside Spintest Coastal Railways. The show is loud and clear here. Special good morning going out to you, DJ. This one says, good morning, team. We are happy and proud of you guys. You are back. You are welcome back. And that is from Don Yaro inside Domipila 2. Ana Yankanchero. This one says, hello, Mr. Nuchiga. I'm Aholu from Kenneth Laundry. It has been a long time. Hope everything is fine. We have missed you big time. Keep up the good work. Thanks so much, my brother. We are back, bigger and better. This one says, Zylofon FM is back and clearer than Jean. Say, Noel, thank God you guys are back. And I am also back to class on your station, training myself as a citizen journalist. Zylofon is my school of becoming a citizen journalist. My regard to my lecturer, Elom Maulikwau, and Madam Samira Rasdelali. Send that one in. And okay, yeah, this one says This is from Eben inside Kwabena. It says Sal has no representative in parliament and also no DC, but we human rights activists. Okay, I'm not getting that. So yeah, we might want to skip that. Let me go on to our Facebook platform. There are also some messages trooping in on our Facebook platforms. Quickly, let me do that, and then we go to our very last conversation for the morning. Lots of messages coming in through our Facebook platform. This one is from Emmanuel Nuana, and he says, good morning. And this is from Oscar Hasty. He says, these politicians are evil. I'm sure he's talking about what the Guinean story. And this one is from Roger Adda. He says, good morning. I am Atta Rasta from Atiko Bubuashi. Keep doing the good work. The president's visit to the USA is to go see Trini Jonas. Oh, Charlie. Wasting our taxpayers. I don't think that's why he went to the United States of America. This one is from Simple Man. He says, tell Addo he should watch out because what happened in Guinea can happen here too. I think that's a caution anyone, even the security experts have said that the ECOWAS bloc would have to be cautious, because there are too many of the similar, developmental issues and economic issues across the sub-region. This one is from Collins Pizarro. It says, greetings to you, Noel, and your panelists. Thanks so much. This one says, my name is Emmanuel. I'm Kafu. Noel Nuchugan, discuss the important issue trending in the country and stop using Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo traveling to US as headline. Discuss the fake pregnancy issue that put tension in the country over the weekend. Don't be partisan. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for sending in that one as well. Everyone is at liberty to contribute to the show. This one says, Adongo Adams. Elom, why do you want to be so diplomatic to Addo this morning? Clearly, this shows how our president become less important in the international recognition. Borrowing. Americans are gradually putting him off. Adams, watching you live in Tamale. And Selom Olembe says, watching live from Bono East. Thanks so much. And this one is from Jonathan Komla Amechodo. And it says, the overthrow of Alpha Conde is now making more sense to me this morning after you guys touched on it. Welcome back. And this is from Joseph Akurugo. He says, good morning, Zylofon. My name is Akurugo Joseph. Welcome back. Thank you so much, guys, for contributing to the show. We're going into our very last conversation for the morning. This one says, happy to hear your voice. I was so down when you guys went offline. I had no station to rely on. Thanks for coming back to inform and educate us on issues. We are together. Eric Ganza sent that one in. Thanks so much, guys.